8 months ago, I decided to stop creating content everywhere on all my channels, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. And if you have seen my stuff before or you have been following me, then you might have noticed, and thanks for noticing. Only recently I'm trying to get back at this and start filming again. I want to talk about why I absolutely don't recommend doing this or ever taking a break in that sense for 8 months and why I did it and why I regret doing it and yeah, stuff like that. So if you haven't seen my stuff before, hi, my name is Shay. I'm a visual designer, web designer. I've built hundreds of different web pages for brands for the last 3 years. And the goal of doing content like this is to document my process and hopefully can convince potential clients to want to work with me. The reason why I stopped, the main reason that I stopped posting and creating content was because I enlisted to the Singapore military service. I gave myself the excuse that I wouldn't have enough time, I would be too tired and stuff like that. And I definitely did have way less time. So if you're not local, if you're not Singaporean, so the schedule for the first few months is the weekdays you're fully in camp, in military camp, and you obviously can't film, can't do anything, and there's just a shit ton of training, a bunch of other stuff lah. And only the weekends you can come back and film. Once that few, like for me it was 2 months, once the 2 months was over, I was posted to another place, and then at the start of being where I am right now, at the start of it was still pretty hectic. There was still a lot of things going on. Only recently, like the last few months, that I had a bit more time to myself. I could do a bit more of my stuff, and then I feel more energized to do content. And I also felt like I should, because I felt very stale. I felt like everything I've learned before I enlisted, I gave it away, or it all went down the drain. Because when I picked up the camera again, it was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't know how to talk to the camera. At least like I never did. And I had to relearn everything, and I broke my whole momentum of like posting and just creating content that is actually helpful and valuable, and that can actually attract people, right? And all the courses or the workshops that I've bought and purchased and attended before I enlisted that cost me thousands and thousands of dollars felt like it all went down the drain. Although I was really tired, I was really busy, I didn't have a lot of time to myself. I couldn't do what I wanted. Like everything is, I need to listen to them, follow them, and then they will scream at me and shout at me and those kind of stuff, right? I still don't think it's a good excuse for myself, because I still technically had the weekends, and even if I didn't, because there were times that the weekends weren't mine either. I had to stay in camp, and then during the weekends and I have very little time to myself. Even in those situations, I should have just filmed something. I think just getting in that habit or that skill of talking to a camera naturally, I think that's something that is, if it's like a new language, right? If you don't use it for a few years, you're eventually gonna forget about it. It's kind of the same thing where I gotta just keep reminding myself that this is how I do this, right? This is how I talk, and this is how I speak to the camera, you get what I mean? Now it just feels really weird. Now it genuinely feels really weird. This is my 6th or 7th video since I stopped long form video lah. Now I primarily do long form. Previously I just did Instagram because I was still getting in the use of things. I wasn't very confident in the way I speak and stuff like that. And to be fair, I still cringe at my content that I've did the last few years. So I did do content for, I guess, like 2 or 3 years. Then I stopped, and then it felt like I had to learn everything again. Even if it were once a month, right? Even if it was once every 2 months, I should have just I should have just done something that would not make me lose my momentum and sort of forget everything I've learned before. Because I think one of my more pivotal moments, or one of the more significant moments I had in my life, is paying for the Chris Do workshop, which was $6,000. And I'm not sure if that's a lot for you, but it's a lot for me, right? At that time, that was half of what I had in the bank. Oh shit, I just revealed how much I had in my bank, but I don't have that much anymore, not nearly as much. So I spent it all, right? And then I felt like it was useful to a certain degree, and I was able to communicate more effectively. And then that was one of the points where my Instagram grew to 20,000 followers, and then I stopped. So everything I've done was sort of washed away. So yeah, I think I'm repeating myself quite a bit, but it's sort of that idea of like, I wouldn't say it's a regret. I mean, I try not to regret stuff, right? Once I've done it, it doesn't matter. But this is one of the things that I feel like a big mistake on my part that I should not have done, and I'm trying to get back in the rhythm of doing this. So let me know what you think, I guess, and hopefully this makes you want to do content for yourself. And yeah,